Hi everyone, Professor Gustin here, and welcome to Human Biology. We are in week 3 and we're going to be talking about cells. When I looked over the amount of material I created for this week, I can't say it's not that much, but there's a couple concepts that are challenging. So I want you to make sure you spend time on the challenging topics and convince yourself that you understand it. Particularly, I'm talking about osmosis and metabolism. Both of those concepts can be a little bit challenging for people. And if you're having a hard time with it, contact me by email and we can set up a time to talk. I don't mind talking to you individually and just making sure you understand the concepts. So let me just look down what we have going on this week. Here we are in our video. We have a lecture study guide, so print out your lecture study guide on cell structure and function. And then there's a bunch of lecture videos. I'm going to move me a little bit out of the way. And you hopefully you're using these lecture videos. I try to make them relatively short, under 20 minutes, usually shorter than that, and break them into units that if you need to go back and watch it again, you can tell, it doesn't have to be too long. And so we have all of these. The one I wanted to point out was this osmosis one here at the bottom. And this one, I talk about osmosis in this lecture video, section 3.3. But I go into just a little bit more detail in here. And I think it kind of helps to be able to hear it a little bit more generally here. And then kind of the background, why does it do that? This video, in this video, I'm using the page from your lab book to explain it. So you can read your lab book. If you completely understand that, you're fine. But if you need a little bit of help with osmosis, you can watch this video too. Let's see. So go on from there. There's a lecture assignment, a McGraw-Hill adaptive learning assignment. Remember about that. And a lab handout with a bunch of virtual labs. And we talk about osmosis there too. So hopefully by the time you're done all this, osmosis seems pretty logical and it has some meaning to you because it's a very important concept. Even just now I'm thinking about it. There's someone in my family that's having heart trouble and they're when you're having heart trouble, sometimes they give you diuretics to help you get rid of fluid. But when you get rid of fluid, you affect your salt balance, and the water salt balance in the body is absolutely critical for normal functioning. So osmosis has a lot to do with that. So even if you're not going to be a nurse, having some understanding of the importance of that can be helpful in your life. The last thing I have on here is a lab quiz. So the lab quiz is make sure you understand the concept of osmosis. And once you do your lab handout, you should be able to do this lab quiz. The other thing that's not listed here, if you didn't do the Respondus practice quiz that I posted in week 2, make sure that you do that. That's due by the end of week 3. So the Respondus practice quiz, I'm recording this video during the end of week 2, and so far a bunch of people have taken the Respondus practice quiz, and it's going fine, but you don't want to be the person to find out that it's not going fine for you, because at the beginning of week 4 is when I recommend that you take exam number 1. And if you have any problems with Respondus, you want to know by then. Okay, our exam number 1 is going to be at week 4. I recommend that you take that at the beginning of the week before you do all your other week 4 materials. So, like I said, make sure you have Respondus working. Just a little background as you're getting ready for week 4 is that the week 4 lecture exam is going to be on the lecture material that we've done week 1, 2, and 3. Scientific method, chemistry of life, and cells. That lecture material is what you're going to find on exam number 1 in week 4. Remember, as you're preparing for your exam number 1, you get through in this course doing pretty well with week 1, 2, and 3 because you get 100% for most of the assignments so far just by completing them. And some students get a false sense that I know all this stuff, so the exam's going to be really easy. But remember, you got to, everything you've done so far has been open book. So you want to practice the lecture material, go to your lecture study guide, and use your lecture study guide, the learning outcomes, the vocabulary words, and there's also all of those questions that I refer to from the textbook that I say make sure the check your progress questions. Make sure you know all those answers. And make sure you can recall them, not just read them. I might have said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Um, there's always a subset of students that aren't doing well in the class, and they say, or they don't do well on tests, and they say, but I studied and studied. No, probably what they did is they read. They read their notes, they read the book, or that kind of thing. But you need to practice recall without the answer sitting in front of you. So you want to go back in your learning outcomes, see how many you can state the answers to without looking at your notes. Okay, so you want to practice recall for your test in week 4. All right. You have any questions or any issues, please let me know. And have a great week 3. Take care.